We also caught up with a climate change expert who spoke to us on various environmental challenges of our time, particularly flooding, which is currently ravaging many communities, its relationship with climate change, implications on lives and livelihood, and possible solution to the menace. Our guest on Environment Today is Bayo Owatemi, a geneticist. I'm sure you're wondering what it's all about. Bayo, thank you so much for being here.
Good afternoon.
You're welcome to Environment Today.
Thank you.
All right. You said you're a geneticist. Could you lead us into what it is all about? What exactly do you do?
Genetics is about the inheritance that we get from the cells, from the DNAs. And I can relate this to climate change in the essence that radioactivity is a very strong component of climate change. Because you can't separate radioactivity from the cause of climate change. Because I group the causes of climate change into two main causes: radioactivity and air pollution. Then under air pollution, I have acid rain, ozone layer depletion, and discharge of greenhouse gases. Then under radioactivity, space radiation, natural radioactive elements are contained in the core and all the shells of the earth. Therefore, radioactivity is not, in essence, a new about factor for the organisms. But with respect to radioactivity, it is very important to bear in mind a force of action on this ecological factor on the environment depends on the dose. And this brings me to talk about our devices, our outdoor and indoor devices like GSM sets, communication masts, computer sets, television sets, and all other mechanical devices that we use. They all emit some form of radioactive substances that are detrimental to the health and the environment. Then I use Chernobyl as an example because we've had a lot of nuclear accidents in the past. Fukushima in Japan, Third Mine in Pennsylvania in USA, then Chernobyl in Kyiv, that's in Ukraine. Okay, Chernobyl power plant is situated in Kyiv, not of Ukraine, and it could generate about 1,000 megawatts of electricity. That's enough to light a medium-sized city. But due to human error, there was an explosion. This explosion sent up about 100 megacuries of radioactivity. Then within a 30 kilometer of the radius, at least 1/5 of the population, some 24,000 people, suffered as a result of direct radioactive doses, while 31 died as a result of direct radioactive poisoning.
When we come to the issue of flooding,
Okay.
which is ravaging many communities in Nigeria today, and even outside the country, you hear in India, you hear almost everywhere.
Everywhere.
Does it have connection with climate change?
Yes, flooding has all connections to with climate change, because flooding has to do with the air being warm and absorbing more moistures, and later falling down as a very heavy downpour, heavier than the one we used to have because there's climate change already. Because the Earth's atmosphere is moderately transparent in the visible region of the solar spectrum, so that much of the solar radiation can pass through the atmosphere without being absorbed. But on the other hand, some minor atmospheric constituents emitted by water vapor absorb strongly in the infrared, so that the atmosphere becomes largely opaque from the heat emanating from the Earth, and this is greenhouse effect. And when this happens, it traps in a lot of moisture from the environment. It later falls back as heavy rain.
So now that flooding is happening everywhere, what do you think is the impact
on
lives and livelihood of people whose communities have been ravaged by flood?
Yes, there's a lot of impact it has had for now, because flooding now, according to what you said, is a worldwide phenomenon. It's happening in the developed world too, but it's more pronounced here, as I think, because this is like a developing nation. We don't really have the wherewithal to combat it now, because the people are not well educated first. Then again, the government are doing little or nothing to really address it. So, in Kogi, for example, lives have been lost. In Kwara State, lives have been lost due to this flooding. But I sincerely think we should. I divide it into two parts. We enlighten the populace. People should know what to do. Stop blocking drainage systems by the bad refuse disposal system. So the government too has their own part to play. They should make sure that dams don't get spilled. The drainage systems are well maintained, and they should be aware that glaciers around the world, around the seas, the oceans are melting. So there's going to be flooding, especially around the coastal areas, which we track down into the inland waterways via the lagoon. That's the mangrove and the fresh water. So the government should come out and not politicize the issue of climate change. Thanks to the Paris Agreement, some governments are already working hard to make sure it comes real. But we still need to do a lot more.
All right, thank you so much. Bayo Owatemi, a climate change expert and a geneticist, has been our guest today on Environment Today. It's been a pleasure talking to you.
Every day, our environment is undergoing changes that impact and affect our world. Global warming, climate change, environmental pollution and degradation, desert encroachment and flooding are daily destroying our world and making it unsafe for habitation. How do we cope with these changes? How do we improve the quality of life through our environment? These and many more environment issues will occupy us weekly on Environment Today.
It's imperative that people comply with laid down environmental laws if we must enjoy the benefits of a clean and healthy environment. But there are certain habits which are outrightly unfriendly to the environment.
Join Nkoli Omodu on Africa Independent Television, AIT, as we take an incisive and in-depth look at our environment. Environment Today, creating a better and safe environment for the world.